Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, and welcome to the Sacred Sounds Festival here in Wollongong, New South Wales, Australia, at our community, New Govardhan. This is our third year running. Each year it gets bigger and better. That's a spiritual principle that in Krishna consciousness and spiritual life, things just get better. In material life, everything deteriorates, but in spiritual life, things get better. So our third year running, we have probably double the devotees we had last year. And a lot of that's due to the organization of my disciple Brajabalabi, Devi Dasi, who tragically passed away in a car accident in Vrindavan some months ago. She was, you could say, the main organizer of this event. So the theme here is remembering Brajabalabi and all the wonderful work she did for this festival and for the New Govardhan community and the Australian Yatra as well. And also a very dear godbrother of mine, Venugopal Prabhu. He was one of the first Prabhupada disciples here in the country. He joined in the early years. Like many senior devotees, he had many services through the years in Australia. He was a Sankirtan leader, he was a temple president, he was a book distributor. And some years ago he came here and he settled down, he got married, and was really, you could say, a staple of this community, always preaching to the devotees, and in the last few years he was taking care of the cows. So there's that saying we have in English, lest we forget. So during this event where we're chanting and we're dancing in the hundreds and relishing prasadam and enjoying each other's association, we give credit where credit is due. We remember those devotees and how they facilitated this event and this wonderful community and the Australian Yatra. Sacred Sounds. This is the title we've given this event, and I think it's appropriate because these kirtan melas have become very popular all over the world.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare.
In the old days, you know, our chanting meant kirtan in the temple and going out on the streets and chanting Hare Krishna. But through the years, the devotees have developed some namaruchi. They've developed some genuine taste for the holy name, so they want to refine that. And Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur wrote, and I'm paraphrasing, that from time to time a devotee should detach himself or herself from their normal duties and just go someplace and focus on chanting the holy names, the Hare Krishna mantra specifically.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
So we've arranged the festival in that concept that the different temples around Australia, devotees can come here and have kirtan for 5 hours in the morning and 5 hours in the evening and sit around and discuss and meet and take prasadam, but basically it's all centered around the holy names of Krishna. And this is really what makes a kirtan mela or a festival special, because it's the chanting of the holy names. Sacred sound means it's not a sound that comes from this world. You can't pinpoint it, where did the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra come from? Of course it has its origins in the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but it comes from the spiritual sky. And that we understand from a poem or a song by Narottam Das Thakur. He says, Golok Prem Dan Harinam Sankirtan. That this chanting of Hare Krishna has come from Goloka Vrindavan. And what is the nature of Goloka Vrindavan? Every step is a dance, every word is a song, and there's a festival every day. That wonderful Vaikuntha atmosphere. So we recreate, you could say, that atmosphere here on the planet Earth by having these kirtan melas, by having these festivals where we just focus on chanting Hare Krishna. In fact, we're even encouraging the participants to stay in the tent. The tendency is to go outside and socialize and walk around and so forth. That's nice, but if we can spend time focusing on the chanting from the heart, as my dear friend Madhava Prabhu is always saying, chanting from the heart and chanting in the mood of prayer. It's not just it's not a mechanical process, it's devotion. Bhakti means from the heart, for Krishna. So if we're chanting for Krishna, then the atmosphere becomes just like Vaikuntha, just like the spiritual world.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
I would like to quote Jamuna Devi Dasi, my god sister. She said, from time to time in Krishna consciousness, there's some divine intervention in our lives, at the mercy of Guru and Krishna, and something a little miraculous happens. She called it the magic moments. So as I'm sitting in the tent, chanting with all the devotees and hearing the kirtans of Bhakti Bringa Govinda Maharaj, Bharahari, Sri Prahlad, Janardhan Prabhu, and I take great pleasure in also looking at the faces of the devotees and how much this kirtan is purifying the heart of all anarthas and awakening this prem bhakti. It really works. And you see that on the faces. They say the face is an index of the mind. And it's particularly satisfying to me to see the newcomers. Here at New Govardhan, they have a wonderful program where people can come and work in the community and get room and board. They have maybe 100 or 200. They're called woofers here. And they're naturally drawn into the activities of the devotees here. The morning program, the evening program, reading the books. It just, transcendentally, they get addicted. And they're really enjoying this Sacred Sounds 2018. They're really enjoying it. They're actually in the front. And I'm looking at them sometimes and I'm thinking, you know, I wish I could chant with that relish. Because there's some special mercy when you first come in contact with devotees of the Lord. There's some special mercy to give you an impetus to continue to advance in Krishna consciousness. So to see the spiritual awakening in the hearts of these hundreds of, you know, young people who've come here to work and who take up a bit of the process, to see them really chanting from the heart like Madhava Prabhu has said. For me, this is the essence of the festival, that they get that taste. So sacred sounds, a sound which comes from the transcendental world. Our life is eternal, full of knowledge and bliss, and as long as we're chanting, either japa or with our devotees, or in this sense with hundreds and hundreds of people, the experience is simply wonderful, and we thank Srila Prabhupada for giving us this opportunity. Sacred Sounds, New Govardhan, 2018, Ki Jai. Thank you, Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.